Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Bearded Buffalo coming to you today with some more Motorsport Manager on the PC. Firebird MRT. One race, one win. First and second in our first race of the season. So now it's time to just get into the business of perfecting our craft and hopefully making our way to GP2 after we win the GP3 championship in our first season. Fingers crossed. Don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but you never know. So we've got to deal with some emails and things, and now you kind of get to see what the flow of this is going to feel like episode after episode. So some of these emails will cut out as we go along the way if they're really unimportant, like car condition update. You get that every single time. You have to repair the car after the race. Here we go, an interview with Channel 6, a 1-2. That's good on. It's a dream weekend for you. What was the secret? And I could take all of the craft. Who am I? I could take all of the credit. I can give the drivers the credit, or just say that the team as a whole is great. But really, I think it was great driving. Let's see if we can design another suspension part and get a good suspension part in as well. So we will do medium speed plus 10, reliability plus 10, and then we can do, well, we don't do qualifying, so this one doesn't really do anything for us. This medium speed plus 40 during qualifying, so we'll do medium speed plus 30, and that's going to increase quite a bit from our current part, which you'll see here. This little arrow shows the current part. Can you see that on there? Yeah, you can. Secondarily, everybody, is the cam worth it for this series? It takes out a couple of pieces of the screen. Well, not really, just one piece of the screen, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. If it's not worth it, you guys tell me. We'll ditch it, and we'll just do voice and the game. That'd be the first time that I didn't have a cam for a YouTube channel, but if you think we should chuck it, we'll chuck it, just for this series. Let's build the part. 900,000. That's a chunk of change, but it should help us out quite a bit. We'll continue to improve that reliability for those two parts. We've got some scouting completed here and some sponsor offers coming in. I'm gonna scouting report. Enrique would be one of the better drivers in the European Racing Series. Her potential is good and could improve over the years to come. Her strength is smoothness, which really means she can make tires last. And Falco would also be one of the best drivers. Strength is smoothness, struggles with fitness. I have 83 and 83, so we'll back those out right now. And let's take a look at this engine at 71%, and maybe we'll focus all of our energy on that one particular engine for now. And let's see what happens as we move forward. More scouting completed, and the designing the suspension part is complete as well. Now we're up to 89 with that engine, so that's outstanding. So our two best suspension parts here are now at 50%. We could drop them both in there and see what happens. I probably should improve the reliability of this engine and those brakes as well. I have 11 days until the German Grand Prix in Munich, so we'll go for it. What do we need here? Acceleration, low speed, and medium speed corners. So these actually could be pretty helpful in the upcoming race. So let's see what our mechanics can do with that piece. Oh, here we go. It's an unlucky style icon has emerged from within the garages of European Racing Series team, Andre Sabato. I just love the way he dresses, said LaRocca's chief. I don't know what that is. He's so chiseled, it sets my teeth on edge. So Andre is now a fashionista, which bumps for 20 weeks his marketability up by 10. Booyah, that's what we need. Work it, Andre. And here's the report for the race in Munich. 29 laps, 2.72 miles with a 40% chance of rain. They're mostly average speed corners, which give any cars with good suspension an advantage, and Eastwood Motorsport is the best right now. Soft and medium tires this time around, and we have some sponsor offers. So we have one offer here in slot 4, and 2 for slot 6. So it's either 1 million for 6 races or 350,000 per race for 9 races. My quick math says that 350,000 per race is going to be much better than the million for 6 races. So we'll take this fixed pay per race for Peach Plum, and slot 4, 10 races, 200,000 up front and 200,000 per race. I think I'm gonna leave that sit for now, and we'll get another sponsor offer hopefully after this next race. Time to pick our sponsor. We'll go with Jander Mule 8th or above for 500,000. Our expenses are pretty low to travel to Germany, so that's nice, and now we can fit parts. So Andre is supposed to be my better driver, and he is by a little, but the smoothness of Gerard is a major advantage. But parts right now are quite equal, so we'll try to give the more reliable parts to Andre for now, and that could change as we go forward, and probably the better parts overall. These are both at, the suspensions only made it up to 65%, and the original suspensions are at 80%. I think I better play, like better safe than sorry here. So I will stick with the 80% suspension. Actually, I will give the best suspension with only 65% reliability to Gerard, and we will give the 117 with 80% to Andre. But we are ready to head to Germany. All right, practice is coming to a close here. We struggled mightily to find the right setup, and that is it. Practice has come to a close. We've got level 1 on soft tires, level 2 on race trim, and that's all we got. But hopefully that rain comes so we can all be on equal footing. But that did not go well. Excellent, great, good, great, and excellent. I think I know where I need to go for the race though, so we should be okay. Okay, well, like I said at the end of practice, it didn't really go our way. I could not find the setup. I'm actually a bit embarrassed by it. So now we have no feedback. I had to take a little bit of a guess, but they're educated guesses because I had an idea of which direction I needed to go with each portion. 12 laps of fuel. Gerard gets 12 to 14 laps on his tires. I'm thinking if I can just do 10, 10, 9 in a 29 lap race, it'll be all right. And Sabato gets 14 at a minimum. I think it's like 14 to 16 on the mediums. Because Sabato is so hard on the tires, the smoothness of 6, we've got to go medium here. So now we can pick our knowledge, and we will do race trim. And maybe we actually can do the light-footed soft tires. They wear more slowly. And let's go back to the car setup, and let's throw him on the softs and see if that is going to work for us. I think it might, actually. And for Gerard, whoops. And for Gerard's knowledge or boosts, we will give race trim 10% performance, and again, this pit stop guru, because it's guaranteed seconds saved throughout the race versus I don't know what the soft tire is going to be, and there is a 40% chance of rain. It's looking dry here for the first 6 laps or so, but as usual, we go to attack and overtake in the rich mix. And as I mentioned before, it is the reverse order of the Drivers' Championship. So Gerard starting 20th and Sabato starting 19th because we are 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. Now it is time to 5 red lights for the German Grand Prix. Firebird MRT looking to have a repeat performance from the race in Russia and currently stuck in, well, not anymore. Gerard already making moves. Let's go watch his race because Sabato's doing nothing in the back. Gerard up to 17th already on this first lap. We are not fast forwarding as fast as possible, but we are moving a little bit faster because there's not much for me to do right now. Gerard into 15th, and he is falling back now into 18th, and Sabato is up into 17th, and Gerard is in 19th. We're worried about tire temps a bit, as well as the condition of our parts. We have to remember that that is something to keep an eye on through these first couple of races until we get the reliability up a little higher. Sabato shoots the gap in between two cars into 14th, and now Gerard making his soft tires work. It's time to go on to at least high and neutral for Gerard. This race not going as smoothly as the last. We are being held up by this group in the back. I'm not going to allow this to happen. We're going to attack and overtake as we need to get by these three cars holding us up. And now Sabato is starting to make moves up into 12th. Was in 11th for a second, now into 11th again. Gerard into 14th. We are on the move. We are the only cars still on aggressive strategies. We will go down to attack and neutral to bring those tire temps down. I let the tire temps get a little too hot as we were trying to get by a pack of cars that were clearly holding us up. Sabato has done so. Gerard has yet to do so. We need to keep an eye on the weather to see if there is rain coming. Still looks clear to about lap 11 or 12. And Sabato into the inside, now getting passed on the outside by John Stididor. Again, another name, or again I'm saying a name I can't say. And past Santa Ana into 8th. So sponsor objective met. Extra money in the coffer for Firebird. And let's see if Sabato cutting into the lead here of Dembele in 7th, and Gerard now in 9th. So working as a team, moving up the pack together. We do have about the same amount of fuel left, so we will have to be careful not to stack our drivers. So whoever's in front will get to go an extra stint, extra lap. See, now here's where we get into trouble. Sabato can clearly go 2 more laps, but Gerard's not going to be able to save 7/10 of a lap's worth of fuel in 2 laps. So we might as well go into high mode for Gerard. Sabato, condition of his parts looking pretty good. We're going to go to attack and overtake, and he's going to have to come into the pits on this lap. He did a great job on tires, so we'll go back onto softs and fill him up, and this is going to have to be an 11-lap stint at a minimum for Sabato, which means he's not going to be able to push at all in this second stint, just maintain hopefully. But he is setting now fast laps and has moved his way up into 5th. Can't hold on to it. Rogers is going to hold him off. And Sabato into the pits from 6th place. Fresh tires, full tank of fuel, and now we will go to overtake and attack for Gerard, and he will follow into the pits back onto soft tires after a 10-lap stint. So really Gerard on the better strategy, and Sabato being a #1 driver, I am sure he is not pleased that Gerard is getting preferential treatment. But again, you'll see the difference, 14 seconds to 9 for the pit stop because of that refueling guru. Sabato now in the back. We need to drop him down to medium and neutral because he needs to go a long way on this set of tires. Gerard tire wear at 15%, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of cars are coming in on this lap. And again, Gerard's going to go on to medium and neutral. He will come out in front of all the cars that did pit, who are now going on to mediums actually. They will be able to push their tires a little harder than we will, but hopefully the soft tire compound is faster than the medium. And now first place, Beauchamp in the pits, actually going to be on his way out. We will not jump Beauchamp, but we will jump Vananen. And Sabato challenging for 5th place, but is not able to secure that pass on Dreyfus. There it is on the outside. Sabato going to make the pass on Dreyfus and gets around Dreyfus, and Gerard looking to do the same but can't make it stick. Now Sabato sets Chu in his sights, also on the outside, can't make it work. Little 4-car battle here. Gerard does get by Dreyfus, and boom, Sabato gets by Chu and immediately steps out. So Chu definitely holding up our drivers here. I would love to be able to push to try to close in on Beauchamp, Arbeloa, and Ja, but not going to be able to do it right now. Just for 1 second, we're going to go on attack and overtake and see if Gerard can get by Chu after the end of this lap. And he does. Back to medium and back to neutral. Now on lap 20, Sabato has 2.2 laps of fuel left and 37% tire wear. And I think Gerard can make his fuel last for a total of 3 and can make this 32% last for another 3. That's actually not going to be that easy. The question is, how much time is Gerard going to lose having to make that 30% last for a total of 3 more laps? When we could just pit right now with Sabato. I think we have to risk it. Let's let Sabato work. Sabato has 1.4 left. We can go to high and attack. Pit this lap for Sabato onto another set of soft tires. That light-footed on soft tires is paying off. Only 10 laps of fuel, 8 laps remaining after this pit stop. That'll give Sabato the ability to push a little bit if he has the engine wear. He does. So we should be just fine here. Sabato with a 13-second pit stop in first place as of right now because of the other 3 drivers pitting in front of him. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Ja, third place car here, already pit and is back out on the gearbox of Gerard. And Gerard is going to be forced to go 1 more lap because if we tried to pit now, he would be stacked. So we'll go high and attack. Gerard is likely going to lose time by trying to stretch these tires farther than he should. But we will also go on to soft tires. Only 7 laps of fuel remaining. We will only put 8 laps of fuel in, and that suspension part that we gave Gerard with the lower 65% reliability is hurting us. I can fix it, and he doesn't actually lose a spot, but we'll lose 8.6 seconds. Do we risk it? I think we do, and that means we will not push the car at all. So we will put 7.6 laps of fuel in, and we will be on medium the whole way. Only an 8-second pit stop. I think we need to go to medium right now. We can attack the tires for the moment. Sabato enters into 5th place, 10 seconds behind Beauchamp in 4th, with Gerard here in 1st. So Sabato will likely move up to 4th place. We just hope that Gerard is going to come out somewhere near Sabato. Extremely quick pit stop. Gerard comes out just 6 seconds behind. I'm sure Gerard lost a ton of time on that last lap. I should have pit Sabato 1 lap earlier. We are in the final stint of the race. 10-second gap between Sabato and Beauchamp. Likely not going to be able to close that gap up, but we can go to high and push the tires a little. I'm going to go down to neutral for a second. Tire temp's getting a little high, and same over here. And oh no, Jean-Pierre Gerard, the suspension's down to 19%. We knew that was going to happen. About 5.5 laps left in the Grand Prix. We are going to ignore and say, nurse it home, Gerard. Front wing's getting a little worn out, but that's all right. Let's go up to overtake and push for Sabato and see what happens. And both are having problems with the car. The suspension is now down to 13%. If it drops one more level, I think I'm going to have to come in and fix it. Only 2 laps remaining. If it drops on this lap, we will come in to fix it. If it drops in the final lap, obviously we will not. Is anybody else having problems with their car and their reliability? If so, a retirement would be just fine by me. And the final lap of the Grand Prix has begun, and we are at 13%. So again, we are praying to the racing gods for parts to hold out to the end of the race. Sabato has cut out 2 seconds of that lead that Beauchamp had for the final spot on the podium, but it's not going to be enough. Sabato now around the final corner for 4th place in Germany. A good point scoring position, and Gerard in 5th place with the suspension failing comes home. That's a 4th and a 5th, not as awesome obviously as 1 and 2, but 4th and 5th is just fine in season 1 after a 1-2 in Russia. Let's see how this shakes out in the standings. And the GMA will do their scrutineering. Obviously, we didn't break any rules. Did anyone else? Yes, they did. It's great for us, but also hurts us a little bit. But Sergio Arbeloa is given a 2-place penalty after a part was found that broke the GMA rules. So, after that, Sabato finds himself on the top step. Nope. On the final step of the podium, and also gets 18 points for 3rd place, but gets a bonus 2 points for the fastest lap of the race. And Jean-Pierre Gerard with a 5th place brings home 16. But as Arbeloa gets a 2-spot penalty, that gives Garuda a 1-2 in Germany, and it appears as of right now that Garuda is going to be our main competitor. We see the Drivers' Championship. Andre Sabato with 39, Jean-Pierre Gerard with 38, and Beauchamp with 37. 2 points separate the top 3 drivers after 2 rounds in the European Racing Series, or GP3. And Firebird MRT now only have a 10-point lead over Garuda Racing in the Constructors' Championship. And we get to see our team result. New personality trait added. You can't say you've tasted champagne until you've tasted podium champagne. You were on the podium just the other week, man, but 2 weeks for a morale +5. And the relationship with the mechanic goes -3 for Jean-Pierre Gerard, which is surprising after a 5th place. But all drivers improving, and actually Sabato improving markedly in some statistics. 8.2, 7.1. That's unheard of. Most drivers are like Gerard, with the only 1 or 2 improving in the 1 percentile range, and the rest in a 0 point something percentile range. So as much as I don't like Sabato for the smoothness statistic, that improvement's outstanding. And 3 stars and a little is going to get the job done in GP3. And there it is, $1.3 million to our bank account. That's what we'd like to see. Now it's time to take a look at the mail. This is the first thing we do after every race. Practice news, 33 hours to repair the car, and an interview for Motor Racing Magazine. Sabato was beaten by Tanveer Jah today. Would you consider bringing him in next season? I'll say a little early to be talking about silly season. That hurts our morale, but doesn't make Jah hate us, which if you say I love my drivers, then Jah's not going to talk to you. And who knows what can happen actually in the future anyway. And we already saw that increase. Jah wins. And scouting report, Harry Webb would be one of the best European Racing Series top drivers. Decent amount of potential, which should help us see some improvement in his skills. Let's take a look. What's Harry about? Harry's at 3 and a little stars already, and could be almost 4 with a smoothness of 15, 18 years old. Plus 10 morale, and I don't like the crash happy, but -2 focus, 17 down to 15 is really just fine. So this is one of those spots where I need y'all's help. Do we bring Harry in? Let's take a look at our actual drivers. What does it cost to break contracts? Just about $1 million for both, but they're both just on 1 season contracts. So I think really what we're doing right now is scouting for future drivers in the next season, whether it's season 2 in GP3 or the first season in the Asian Pacific Super Cup, which is like GP2 or F2. Still looking for a good reserve driver though, somebody with a lot of potential and maybe a 1 or 2 star rating at most, so we can pay them not much on a long contract and see their rating grow. And if you can get a pay driver into this position as well, that's outstanding. 2nd in top speed, 3rd in acceleration, 2nd in deceleration, and now up to 4th in whatchamacallit, mid speed corners or suspension. MSC is what really threw me for a loop there. Let's keep these parts improving, the 2 new suspension pieces, and let's get those up. I think we're gonna not design a new part in between number 2 and 3, and just save a little bit of this money if we can. We're going to finances. Here's something that we haven't done that I should have done. We set the budget for next year's car. So basically after each race, you can save a particular amount. We want to save as much as we can for next year's car. So we'll start saving $1 million for next year's car. And I missed the introduction to the GMA. So we are now a fully accredited member of the GMA, or the Global Motorsport Association. This means we'll be called upon to vote on potential rule changes a few times per year. Decisions should not be taken lightly, as each rule change can impact the championship in multiple ways. If you choose to abstain from a vote, you will save up that vote for another time. This allows teams to focus on their own priority rules. The first vote will start in 2 weeks. Good luck, Ernie Hecklerock. So you'll see the first vote coming up is just the addition of the Dubai Grand Prix. That seems pretty minuscule, but there will hopefully you'll get to see. I have seen some actual like series changing votes come up, like decreasing the number of cars that get points, or changing practice length, or even changing whether there's refueling allowed or not. It's actually a really cool addition to the game, is changing the rules from year to year. I really like that. Hi boss, it's Andre's birthday. Should we get him a nice present? He's pretty touchy about his birthday, so a card will do, and morale goes down -10, or throw a big party, morale +10. I don't know what his morale is. We got a lot of money. Let's have a party. $100,000 party for our #1 driver, Andre Sabato, who was finished Germany in P3. And 80%. We'll take those down, and let's get the other engine and the brakes that are at 76. Let's get those as high as we can between now and the next race. And now it's time for a politics vote. So, a new race in Dubai will be added to the calendar next season. The rule would benefit teams likely to perform well in Dubai, which would be Eastwood, Archer, Dragon, Predator, and it would not benefit teams likely to struggle, Silva, Vexala, and Octane. They don't list us in this group, so it likely means we would be kind of middle of the pack. And frankly, I don't care if there's another race in Dubai in GP3, 1, because I just don't care, and 2, because I hope I'm in GP2 next year. So I'm going to abstain, and that gives me +1 power during the next vote when it could be something that's actually critical. So we'll abstain, and we will skip ahead. We'll still get to see where it's going, but we'll get to see the result of what's happened here, and it is 4-3. So Dubai added to the calendar next year for GP3. Milan race coming up, the Italian Grand Prix, 21 laps, 3.72 miles. Wow. And again, 40% chance of rain. High-speed circuit, which benefits Garuda, right now our main opponent for the Constructors Championship. You know, a bit shocking that we didn't receive any more sponsorship offers for this slot 4. I think I'm actually just going to let this one go. I know in general I like to say take money where you can get it in this game. Don't pass on offers, but 10 races is a long period of time, and I'd like to think that we're getting more than 1 star or better sponsors by the time 10 races are 10 races are up. So I think I'm gonna let that one expire, which if I was watching me on YouTube and watching me let that go like that, I would be chirping about how dumb I am. But that's it. Let's head to Italy. We will stick with this middle goal, just guaranteeing money. Second or above is a nice target for us, but I really think that 8th or above is where we should be living. And that email said 40% chance of rain, but now we're seeing the race. It looks like it's going to be clear. Never really know how that's going to turn out. So we'll have to be ready for the rain, and again, keep an eye on the rain. Let's see how we did on reliability. Both of the engines are now up to 89%, brakes up to 90 and 83, and the suspension parts are ready. So we will give the better part to Sabato. We are ready to head to the Italian Grand Prix, and I will check in with you after practice. Alright, and now the last 30 seconds or so of the practice session. We had some rain to start the session out. So we got level 1 on inters. We have a chance here at level 3, and level 2 for softs and level 3 for race trim, and we are not quite going to get it. But we do finish on top, per the usual, but again, it's because I'm pushing during each section. Let's see how we did with the setups. I actually think we got excellence on all 3, but let's find out. And was I right, or was I right? We got excellence on all 3. 3 excellence for Sabato, 3 excellence for Gerard. We'll take a look at the percentages here in a second, but let's do knowledge. Well, wait. Let me take a look at the weather forecast. Again, 40% chance of rain, but looking clear as of right now. So we will go with race trim. And are we back to soft tires again? Yeah, so we're gonna, for Sabato, we will do race trim and the light-footed soft tires. And Gerard, we will do race trim plus 10 and this pit stop guru refueling once again. We'll take a look here at the car setup just to get an idea of percentages. 99%. I'm not going to make any tweaks for fear of making it worse. And we will go out on the soft tires for Sabato. So 10 to 12 laps is all he's able to manage, but it's only a 21 lap race. So I only need 7 to 8 laps, and he gets 9 laps of fuel. So if we can get 7 laps on each sector, we will be If we can get 7 laps on each stint, we will be great. And 98% for Gerard. Again, not changing because I'm scared of making it worse. 12 to 14 on the tires and 9 laps of fuel. So Gerard will likely have Gerard go 8 laps on the first stint, while Sabato only goes 7. So Sabato will go 7-7-7, and Gerard hopefully will go 8-7-6 or 8-8-5, depending on the situation. But if rain comes, that will obviously change everything. Per the usual, we go to attack and overtake for the start of the race. And a chance to look at the grid. Once again, we are starting 19th and 20th, with Garuda starting in the row in front of us in 17th and 18th, our main competitors here. Now, we go to 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix in Milan. And how are we looking? Gerard with a decent start up into 18th, and Sabato with a shocking start. Gerard flying up the inside into 12th place from 19th. That is, 7 positions in a straight and part of a corner. Gerard ready to take control of the championship himself in second place, now down by 1 point to Sabato. I can't believe it. And Sabato, and we are 4 wide back here, not Sabato, but 4 wide. Gerard into 10th, it was up to 9th, back to 10th. Now, remember, we can't push too hard with Sabato on this first stint, or we will not be able to make those tires last the appropriate amount. Gerard can push just a little bit more up into 7th now. Do we let Gerard push on? What's everybody else doing? Everyone is pushing hard still. We'll see when they change And we may change as well. Gerard up into 5th on the gearbox of Marchetta for 4th place, who is on the medium compound tire. I can't believe everyone's still pushing this hard. Gerard now into 4th place and Sabato in 12th, making moves as well. There's been a crash. Gerard, oh dear God. Gerard into the wall. I can't wait to see the replay. And Gerard, Valdez, and Mello into the wall. So Gerard out of the Italian Grand Prix much too early. So now it is all down to Sabato, and that is supremely disappointing, as Gerard had just moved into 4th. Oh, I'm heartbroken by that. Sabato, it's up to you now. Loving your work. We're going to go to medium and push. We need to make sure that this fuel lasts. We're only on lap 3. Up into 6th. But really still only 3 seconds behind first place, with Jaw getting by us here. Where's Beauchamp in 10th place? And really, just like in real life, the key to winning championships, Constructors' Championships, is having both cars finish every race in decent positions, and Gerard obviously not doing that. Today, everything is destroyed on the car as he smashed into that retaining wall. And Sabato up into 4th. What a move, passing 3 cars. And Jaw in 3rd, Beauchamp in 8th. Sabato is going to have to do some work. I actually, if I could pick which driver was going to crash, I would have picked Sabato, because Gerard has that pit stop guru perk, which I absolutely love, because like I said, it's guaranteed saved seconds on a lap. Now we're only trying to go 7 laps here with Sabato. We're on lap 4, and he only has 4 laps of fuel. Sabato setting fast sectors, fastest in the first, fastest in the second. He could set fast lap again for those bonus 2 points, and if he could keep it, that would be outstanding. Weather looks to remain dry. I don't know why I'm having this go so slow. Sabato making a move to get around Jaw. We're going to go up to overtake. Can he make it stick? He cannot make it stick. Oh no. We had 3rd place if he just could have gotten around Jaw, because Beauchamp now joins the fight in the top 5, all bunched up, and this is getting rough. Both get around Jaw as he struggles on the corner, and Sabato is going to beat Garuda on the straight, beat Beauchamp on the straight, even though they have the best engine. It's got to be that fuel overtake mode. We are on lap 7, and we need to go to attack and overtake. We are sticking on our strategy here, and we will be undercutting. We're pitting this lap. And seeing what the tire wear is, we have the ability to push just a little bit more than we had during that stint. We are going back to the full fuel. I feel good with the reliability, so we can push. Do we go fast? I don't think we do. I think we go balanced. We will be coming out in traffic, which is unfortunate. And he's going to get around into 2nd place. Now Sabato pits with Antonov, and Antonov was in 1st place. So if all things hold true, we could come back out in 1st place after everyone pits. I don't feel that good about it now, because Beauchamp and Arbeloa had a clear track for that in-lap, so they were able to push while we are dealing with traffic. And that's it. We do come out in 1st place. Sabato now in 1st in front of Antonov, Arbeloa, Beauchamp, and Jaw must have had problems in the pits, because he is now 16 seconds behind. Actually, likely didn't have problems in the pits. He probably got stacked with Beauchamp. Beauchamp got in before him, so Jaw had to wait for the engineers and the mechanics to to complete Beauchamp's pit stop, while Jaw sat and waited and wasted time. I am sure that was frustrating. if Arbeloa can hold off Beauchamp, we will be in a good position, because I think Beauchamp will be able to close up on us as soon as he gets into clean air. As we complete lap 13, it looks like we will have enough fuel to do 2 laps and enough tire wear to get to lap 15, so our last stint can be 1 lap shorter, which gives us the opportunity to abuse the tires a little bit more, which is shocking. That light-footed on soft tires has been a blessing for Sabato in these first few Grand Prix. He's actually increased the lead up to 6.8 now, abusing his tires, and we have 1.25 laps worth of fuel, and Arbeloa and Beauchamp both into the pits, so they are going to undercut. We will go into high fuel mode and call Sabato into the pits for the final time in the Italian Grand Prix. We don't need the full 9 laps of fuel. We only need 8, so we can still push a little bit. Oh no, and the engine. How many seconds is that? Way too many. We have to decrease the fuel by 1 lap. We are not going to be able to push the way I would like to. The engine is at 38%, which means it's already down on a little bit of power. We don't need to worry. Well, that doesn't make sense, everyone. When I go from balanced plus 2 seconds, they say my estimated position is 6th. If I go to fast, it's 9th. That's messed up. Glitch. Let's call Sabato into the pits and hope that the undercut from Beauchamp and Arbeloa does not get the job done. Looks like it's going to be dry for the rest of the race, so that 40% chance of rain turned out to be nothing at all. We may need to come out on overtake for a second. Is anybody coming down the straight? No. Sabato rejoins in first place after a great work from the pit crew. Love your work, mates. Love your work. 7-second gap on Beauchamp with 5 laps to go as we cross the start-finish line. Again, we are not able to push. I have to continue to remind myself that, because that engine is now down to 30%. And Sabato's engine is about to go into the red, which means when it gets to the red, at any moment, it could fail. At any moment. Now, though, to the final lap of the Grand Prix with Sabato leading, which is just about as clutch as you can possibly be after Gerard crashes on, what was it, lap number 2, after a rocket start up into 4th from 19th, just in 2 laps. And Sabato, though, comes home, top spot on the podium for Firebird MRT. That is what I am talking about. What is this Firebird MRT? I am nervous. Beauchamp and Jaw 2 and 4, they will likely outscore us and take the Constructors' Trophy here in Italy, but I'm not sure what that will do in the Constructors' Championship. Let's take a look. Maybe Garuda will break a rule or be caught breaking a rule and get a penalty. They will not. And oh no, Tanvir Jaw gets fastest lap of the race, so a bonus 2 points. So Garuda comes home with 38 in comparison to R20. They are going to take the top spot now in. Well, that doesn't. No, that doesn't make sense. 19 plus 19 is actually greater than 20. Garuda won that, not us. But we do get first place, which is great. Sabato now leading in the Drivers' Championship by 3. And Gerard falls down to 18 behind, and actually behind both of the Garuda Racing drivers. After 3 rounds, Garuda Racing with 105 points, Firebird MRT with only 100 points. I say only, I'm still psyched. Second's going to be a great finishing position because Garuda really is a powerhouse right now. You know, points wise, we were 4th as a team. So even though we win the race, Bill Page, 5% happiness decrease, marketability goes down 0.03, which I think is a bit stupid because, like, we won, man. But Gerard did smash into the wall. But we do still make $1 million, and we are saving another $1 million for next year's car. Okay, so this is where I need your help. I probably should have done this at the beginning of the episode, but hopefully you've made it this far. I need your help in 2 spots. Is 2 races too many? Does that make these videos too long? I'm trying to work on cutting the races down to make the video a little bit shorter. But should we be looking to do 2 races in a video or 1? Let me know in the comments down below. But also, as my board of directors, I need your assistance. Where do we go next for parts improvement? We really aren't going to be able to do much more with suspension until we building in our headquarters, which is going to cost us somewhere between $5 and $8 million, which we clearly do not have yet. So really the question is, and don't pay attention to the reliability, we haven't repaired the cars from the race yet, so this is what it looks like. Do we go gearbox, engine, or brakes? Brakes are actually the highest of the 3, and engine is the lowest of the 3. So do we work to improve the engine to catch up to maybe Garuda or get a little bit closer to them in top speed, or do we try to overtake them in brakes or gearbox performance? So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll take a look at those comments, and we'll make that decision together as a group. If you did have a good time, you're enjoying this series, new series on the channel, Motorsport Manager, smash that like button. A fantastic crash for Gerard, heartbreaking, but a podium and a race win, both for Andre Sabato, and we are in the fight for the championship with 7 races to go in GP3. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch y'all in the next one.